Hi everyone, I'm Anya Oliver from Devon Wildlife Trust. I work in Exeter, specifically with the Valleyparks project, but I'm also representing other projects around the city here tonight. You can see a lovely view from Ludwell Valley Park on this screen here, across to Holden. It's our largest of the valley parks, which is 50 hectares. So quickly, the summary of the projects that I'll be talking about today are about the valley parks. So there's 6 green spaces in the city, really significant, 140 hectares in total. Our outdoor learning programme is a long-running programme working with many of the schools around Exeter. You can see 20 schools, 6,000 students, but also with families and increasingly with young people. And the Exeter Wild City programme, an initiative 10 years plus long with the council that's already been mentioned by Kat and Nick, is a partnership project, lots going on there around the city. This needs no introduction. This is Riverside Valley Park. I've already mentioned Ludwell. This is the second biggest within our management. The valley parks are, if you can see in the top right, they are maps, not probably to scale, but across the city. They frame the city. There's significant wilder informal green spaces, and they transferred from the council to DWT for management in May last year. And despite COVID this year, in that sort of first nearly a year of managing them, we engaged with 1,000 people involved in 25 events, and 150 volunteers got involved in public open events to just to help pitch in with various projects around the parks. And in those projects we planted hundreds of trees and wildflowers and dug a pond at Mincing Lake, so we did pretty well. This year, despite the challenges, the obvious challenges, we are slowly, cautiously starting to train or induct volunteer rangers, so that we help get a network of people who can bridge that gap between us and the community out there and help manage the parks. And there's a project specifically in Ludwell. It's our first funded project by Viridor Credits, which is a biodiversity project. Many of the fields are going to be sown with wildflowers, and there's other hedgerow and other biodiversity projects as part of that. And I'll just give a quick plug to Ludwell Life, the fantastic community group who work in Ludwell with us. Lots more projects planned. We're really about not only enhancing the biodiversity in these spaces, but bringing people in, making sure that people work with us, feedback to us, and enhance these spaces for the communities here as well. I'll mention Northbrook Approach later on. That's the other of the big 3 valley parks. That's Mincing Lake, looking across to the estuary. And this is a couple of the, actually the same, looking at it, project where we planted trees in Ludwell early this year. So quick rundown of Exeter Wild City, already mentioned, but yeah, it's a really important partnership with the City Council and others. We've got an officer who works quite a lot on this for most of her time. Other projects have been mentioned, but we've done a lot around Swift surveys, nest boxes, and the famous Swift Tower, yet to be resident to Swift. Many other projects around the city with communities, and we do a lot with communities to look at their own plans for their own spaces and how they want to enhance biodiversity there. And we also do some interesting projects like the CAN, Connecting Actively with Nature projects, with people specifically aimed at health and well-being and getting people connected with nature. You can see along the strip at the bottom, hopefully, we've got lots of campaigns that we would sort of flag under the Exeter Wild City banner. There's a gardening award at the moment, and other things that are more national that you can get involved with. Outdoor learning really quickly. So we do work in schools, mainly primary schools. You can see the stats there, but we've been doing work with champions around the schools for 10 years, and we do all sorts of work, mainly within the grounds of the schools all around the city, to engage children with nature and nature management of spaces. More coming with youth, I think, because that's been a bit of a gap. And there's some lovely, it's an Exeter Wild City project with a bug hotel and someone planting plugs in Mincing Lake as part of the wildlife champions. So my quick ask then, you can see, and we can share afterwards, contact details for getting involved in any of the initiatives around the city. But a really key one is the Northbrook Approach, the old golf course that was closed last year by the council. We are jointly consulting with the council soon, hopefully. We don't have a date, on the future of that space, and it's really important that people get involved in that. It'd be great to hear from you. Do get in touch with me if you would like to. It's a critical corridor between Riverside and Ludwell and for the city. Thank you very much.